Picture the bustling New York studio of The View, where the round table crackles with the unfiltered energy of Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Sarah Haynes, a lineup that turns every episode into a powder keg of opinions and celebrity encounters. On this fateful Thursday morning in July 2025, the air is thick with excitement as Denzel Washington, the two-time Oscar-winning legend known for his commanding presence in films like Training Day and Fences, takes his seat to promote his latest project, a poignant post-Civil War drama exploring reconciliation and the human spirit. The audience buzzes, expecting Denzel's trademark poise and wisdom, perhaps a glimpse into his 40-year marriage to Pauletta or his faith-driven approach to acting, themes he's touched on in past interviews like his 2022 Christian Post discussion about Hollywood's moral compass. Whoopi introduces him with reverence, calling him a man of deep integrity, and the crowd erupts in applause as Denzel settles in, his smile warm but measured, his sharp eyes scanning the hosts. The conversation starts on a high note, with Whoopi praising his directorial vision and the film's themes of healing, drawing nods from the panel. Joy Behar, the show's outspoken veteran with a knack for provocative quips, chimes in early, asking about Denzel's selective public voice on social issues, perhaps referencing his measured responses to cultural debates, like his 2024 comments on staying true to personal convictions without performative activism. It's meant as a light probe, but Denzel's response is deliberate. "I speak when it matters, not for applause." The studio hums with interest, but Sunny Hostin, ever the analytical co-host, leans in, questioning if his silence on certain topics comes across as protecting his brand rather than genuine stewardship. The room shifts. Denzel's jaw tightens subtly, and he counters calmly, "You're confusing dignity with strategy. I don't explain myself to those who've already decided." Joy jumps back, her signature sarcasm surfacing with a quip about Hollywood's careful calculations, implying Denzel's restraint might sideline important dialogues. The audience murmurs, sensing the undercurrent, and social media on X begins to stir with early posts speculating on the tension. Though verified clips are scarce amid the live broadcast, Whoopi tries to redirect to the film's artistry, but Sunny presses, suggesting his approach could be seen as avoidance in an era demanding louder voices. Denzel's eyes narrow, his voice steady but laced with intensity. "You don't know where I've used my voice, you only know where you didn't hear it." The studio falls pin drop silent, Joy's attempt to lighten the mood with a joke falling flat as the weight of his words hangs heavy. No shouting erupts, but the philosophical clash simmers. Denzel's composure a stark contrast to the host's probing energy. As the segment teeters, producers signal a commercial break, and upon return, Denzel's seat is empty. He's chosen to walk out, a quiet exit that speaks volumes. Whispers from the crew later leak that it was his decision, not a forcible removal, but tabloids spin it as an explosion, with YouTube videos like those from Echo Stories dramatizing the moment into a full-blown showdown. X lights up with reactions, posts under #Denzel vs. The View praising his grace while others debate Joy's role in escalating the exchange. For Denzel, a man of faith who once said in a 2025 AboutPastors.com interview that his convictions guide him silently, this wasn't rage but a boundary drawn in the sand. The viral fallout, trending as of September 15, 2025, leaves fans dissecting every pause and glance, wondering if this poised departure marks a new line in celebrity interviews or just a misunderstood morning misfire. Let's rewind and dissect how this charged moment built to its dramatic close, because the Denzel Washington clash on The View is a masterclass in how a thoughtful discussion can veer into uncomfortable territory under the glare of live TV. The View, a daytime powerhouse since 1997, thrives on its hot takes and host dynamics, with Joy Behar's 80s air bluntness often sparking the sparks that boost ratings. Denzel's appearance was primed for inspiration, promoting a film on reconciliation that mirrors his own life philosophy, as shared in his 2022 Christian Post remarks about using influence responsibly. But from the opening pleasantries, subtle cues hinted at friction. Insiders, echoed in speculative reports from StoryNews.us, suggest Denzel arrived composed but cautious, perhaps wary after past media spins on his faith and selective activism, Like his measured take on social justice in a 2024 CBN interview, Whoopi kicked off with praise for his career, from Malcolm X to directing Fences, drawing appreciative nods. Joy, true to form, steered toward his public persona, quipping about Denzel's quiet power in Hollywood meant as a compliment but probing his reluctance to weigh in on partisan issues. Denzel responded evenly, emphasizing stewardship over spectacle. "I don't raise my voice because I don't have to." The pivot came with Sunny Hostin, whose legal background fuels her incisive questions, implying his silence might protect his marketability rather than reflect deep conviction. The studio hushed as Denzel leaned forward, his tone firm. "Dignity isn't branding, it's doing what's right without the noise." Joy interjected with sarcasm, suggesting Hollywood stars like him owe louder advocacy, a nod to her own progressive stance. X began buzzing even before the break, with unverified posts like one from @Njid1 on July 10, 2025, hyping a storm-off video, though its link leads to a dramatized YouTube clip lacking authenticity. Whoopi attempted redirection to the film's themes of healing, but the exchange lingered. Denzel's retort, "You only know what you didn't hear," silencing the panel momentarily. No explosion in volume, but the intellectual simmer boiled over when Sunny pressed on his stewardship, prompting Denzel's quiet stand. "This isn't my table to defend at." The audience shifted, sensing the shift from chat to confrontation. As commercial loomed, Denzel rose gracefully, shaking hands with Whoopi before exiting stage left, a walk-off born of principle, not fury. Producers, per leaked whispers in rb.celebhot.com's fictionalized account, respected his choice without intervention, though sensational videos portray security rushing in. When the show returned, Joy quipped about deep waters, but the vibe was subdued, hosts expressing regret while praising his integrity. Online, the moment went viral through AI-enhanced clips from channels like Talk Show Warzone, fueling debates on celebrity accountability versus privacy. Fans on X split, some lauding Denzel's poise as masterclass dignity, others critiquing Joy's probing as overreach. The clash highlighted Denzel's guarded wisdom, shaped by decades in the spotlight, and The View's challenge in balancing bold questions with respect. Was Sunny's implication the spark, or Joy's sarcasm the fuel? As of September 15, 2025, the unverified frenzy continues, a testament to how one composed exit can eclipse a career's grace. The aftermath of Denzel Washington's walk-off from The View unfolded like a slow-burning wildfire, consuming social media, entertainment headlines, and fan forums with debates that lingered long after the credits rolled. The View, with its Emmy-winning format of diverse voices clashing constructively, has weathered storms before, from Rosie O'Donnell's 2007 Iraq War feud to Meghan McCain's 2021 exit. But Denzel's departure stood out for its quiet intensity, amplified by his stature as a Hollywood icon. Joy Behar, the 83-year-old firebrand who's anchored the show since day one, faced the brunt of online scrutiny, with some ex-users echoing sentiments like @Njid1's July 10, 2025, post labeling her role in the inevitable storm-off, though such takes veer into unverified territory. Sunny Hostin, whose question on Denzel's silence ignited the core tension, expressed regret on the next episode, clarifying her intent was dialogue, not dissection, while Whoopi Goldberg defended the show's spirit of open talk. Denzel's team issued no statement, aligning with his philosophy of letting actions speak, as seen in his Boys Girls Club's philanthropy and faith-led life detailed in a 2025 AboutPastors.com profile. The viral clips, primarily from dramatized YouTube sources like Echo Stories dated July 14, 2025, portrayed an explosion that never fully materialized, a more philosophical standoff and shouting match, but they amassed millions of views, sparking hashtags like #DenzelWalksOut. Credible reports from StoryNews.us on July 9, 2025, emphasized the simmer rather than boil, noting Denzel's composed retorts like "I don't explain to those who've decided," which resonated with fans admiring his restraint amid the host's probing. Social media divided sharply, supporters hailed it as a stand against performative culture, recirculating his Christian post quotes on quiet conviction, while critics accused the panel of baiting him. drawing parallels to past View controversies. Ratings for the episode spiked 20%, per Nielsen Whispers, turning Fallout into fortune for ABC, though producers faced internal reviews on guest handling. Denzel, unfazed, continued promoting his film, attending premieres with Pauletta and focusing on themes of reconciliation that ironically mirrored the incident. Joy, in a follow-up monologue, lightened the mood with self-deprecating humor about poking the bear, but the exchange lingered as a cultural touchstone. Broader discussions erupted on celebrity interviews. When does inquiry become interrogation, especially for figures like Denzel who've navigated race, faith, and fame with measured grace? As of September 15, 2025, unverified TikToks and Facebook shares like one from July 2025 recirculate the drama, but the consensus from balanced outlets leans toward mutual misunderstanding rather than malice. For The View, it was a reminder of its provocative edge for Denzel, a reaffirmation of his unshakable poise. The walk-off, more grace than rage, became a viral emblem of dignity and discord, leaving audiences pondering the power of unspoken words. So, what endures from Denzel Washington's clash on The View? It's far more than a tabloid bleep. It's a profound snapshot of conviction meeting curiosity in the unforgiving arena of public discourse. Joy Behar's quippy interjection and Sunny Hostin's analytical push represented The View's core: bold, diverse voices challenging the status quo, a format that's earned 30 seasons by sparking reflection. Denzel, at 70, embodies timeless integrity, his walk-off a masterstroke of self-preservation, echoing his 2022 Christian Post ethos of stewardship over spectacle. The incident, overhyped in YouTube videos like the July 14, 2025, explosive showdown from rb.celebhot.com as a full eruption, was in truth a simmer of philosophy as a Denzel's "you don't know where I've spoken" a mic drop of quiet power that silenced without shouting. The early exit, mutual and measured, avoided escalation, but its viral shadow, fueled by iClips and X posts like @NJ1's partisan take, amplified it into legend. As of September 15, 2025, the debate evolves from outrage to admiration, with fans recirculating StoryNews.us's July 9 account of Denzel's grace, praising how he turned tension into teachable poise. Whoopi and the panel recovered with vulnerability, Joy's humor bridging the gap, while Denzel's silence post-incident spoke volumes, focusing on his film's message of healing. The clash symbolized deeper currents: Hollywood's expectation of vocal activism versus personal boundaries, especially for black icons like Denzel who shouldered scrutiny for decades. It sparked conversations on interview ethics, with outlets like Pastel Times on July 16, 2025, framing it as clarity without confrontation. For The View, it reaffirmed its role as a cultural mirror for Denzel, a testament to enduring dignity. Could a return heal the rift? Perhaps a joint reflection on faith and fame? Or will this poised departure define their intersection? Ultimately, it's a lesson in live TV's alchemy where words unspoken can echo loudest, turning a morning mishap into a moment of lasting resonance.